1340 96.5 KVGC. On the phone with me, Douglas Viviani of Everything Old is New Again. Douglas and David Cohen anchor our evening programming every Saturday and Sunday evening with the little show that could. Everything Old is New Again. Each week examining our pop culture, where it came from, and why it's still popular, and trying to make radio fun again. And you know, Douglas, I want you to toot your own horn here for a minute. I was reading something today, and Everything Old is New Again is on 36 radio stations across 28 states and growing every month.
Yes.
And that is, ladies and gentlemen who are not in the radio business, that's a feat. That's a job. This is something that's driven by love. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that. Yes, I appreciate it. It's a lot of hard work, and it's contacting stations and advising of what's going on. And I'll tell you, as you probably know, a lot of stations have, and everyone listening knows, it has their lineup, and it's pretty much set, and it's just trying to get people to open their mind a little bit and say, like KVGC was one of our first stations ever, and it's great to be here almost 4 years, and from that, people listen to the show from here and say, yeah, you know what, let's give that a shot. But they have to eliminate another show, and we've been sometimes they'll do like the best of Rush Limbaugh, or they'll do some very famous shows, and they'll put us in instead of them. So we're pretty honored with that. We feel we're making some headway, which is nice. Hopefully we make enough headway sooner or later to be heard for quite some time. That's really what we care about. We just want to, what we do, we love, and we just want people to have fun along with us, if that makes any sense.
You would even pay people to listen to you.
Well, I wouldn't go that far because, I would, but let's put it this way, if I had the money, I would. Yeah, let's put it that way. That's a big if.
David might, in his narcissistic ways.
Exactly, and he's got the money. See, that's the money behind the whole thing.
Hey, listen, we have some catching up to do, okay?
Yes.
And we have some new stuff to talk about, too. So how did the camping trip go and the fishing trip with the kids?
The camping and fishing went surprisingly well. We were more what they call glampers. Have you heard this term now?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I have.
I don't know where it comes from. It's more or less people that go camping, but it's glamorous, if you will.
Yeah.
So we rented the cabin, and we had friends of ours who actually had a camper by the lake, under the trees and so forth. We brought all our dinners over there and had them over there and stuff. We fished in the lake in the backyard, which was, backyard, but their backyard, so to speak, with their temporary backyard. And the fishing was more or less difficult in that we threw out the lines, and around the corner come a bunch of people, no matter day or night, on little floats floating down the stream. So it wasn't exclusively for fishing, and it kind of chased the fish away, if you will. But my kids got a little idea of it, and they do want to do it some more. They had a lot of fun. But what they really liked were the times where we sat by the fireplace, the fire, right after dinner, sun's down, and all of the two families sat around and told stories, which, I don't think happens too much these days anymore. And I was put on the spot to tell stories. I didn't bring any prepared, so I sat and I just kind of made up stories as we go. Some of the titles were like, The Thing from Beyond, The Skeleton Ghost, Firecracker Jim, and the most famous of them all now is The Three-Eyed Fish. These are stories that I basically made up on the spot, and they wanted them to be sort of either ghost stories or an eerie story for kids. So it actually worked out pretty good. They're still talking about the stories and sitting around and just having, fun with adults, I guess, that are not telling them to do something or not having an agenda. We just kind of sat and had s'mores around the fireplace and all of that. Have you? I don't know if let me put it this way: the opportunity, I think, for that kind of thing passes in life pretty fast. Before you know it, there'll be teenagers or a smidge older, and I'm not sure they'd be open to that. You tell me.
We were really involved in scouting, Cub Scouting, Boy Scouting. So we did a lot of that, with the boys in Scouts. As far as the small window of opportunity, absolutely. Your whole child's life it's a small window of opportunity. You think about it. Growing up, it seemed like an eternity, but to your parents, as it will seem to you, if it doesn't already, that time flies.
Yeah.
That is not an eternity. It's just, my youngest son, Joe, will graduate from college this coming year, and just celebrated his 21st birthday. It's like, whoa, this just, where did the time go? But I have to ask you a question about the camping now. Did you do any snipe hunting, or did you see Bigfoot or any extraterrestrials? Or
that's what was very nice. The stories sort of inspired that as well, and vice versa. In that they had a hayride where everyone went on one night, and they brought us all around the campsite. And as we passed by a certain area, all of a sudden there's Bigfoot. There's a Bigfoot sighting, and it goes right past and lumbers right past the hayride, and there was quite an uproar and a
Really?
yell and so forth to have a Bigfoot sighting. The only problem was my kids had no idea who the heck Bigfoot was. So I had to use modern technology that night, and we went on for the only time of the weekend, went on my phone and picked up a couple of videos as to people citing Bigfoot and what it was.
That's hilarious.
It's sort of lost the what would you say, the liver is off the stone. It didn't.
Well, that's like me. Just I can't wait to take my kids to the Ponderosa. We're going to see the Ponderosa. We're going to see the Cartwright house, and we're going to see where Little Joe's horses and hosses. Where Hoss ate and all this, and we're going to boy, it's going to be fun. And the kids are going, huh? Ponderosa? Who's the Cartwrights? What? Oh boy, it's going to be...
So I'm not going to make the mistake again. We're going to go see Ringo in Saratoga, September 14th. I want my kids to experience a little of that and remember that. But I've been playing the Ringo in that 2018 kind of videos from his tour where he's going around town, so to speak, to different towns. So they're becoming more and more familiar with the music, because I don't want to be there and for the first time have them listen to Octopus's Garden and don't know what it is,
Now here's I heard this last. It's funny you bring up Ringo. Remember the Lauren Green, and I bring up Lauren Green. Remember the Lauren Green song Ringo?
Yes.
Horrible song,
yes.
Ringo. Okay, it skyrocketed on the charts, and we started running a show on Saturday and Sunday nights. It follows. Actually, it's from 8 to 10. And it's the music of the 60s, and it's hosted by a guy. Anyway, long story short, talking about that. Back in the day of the Beatles, anything that had anything remotely tied to the Beatles would just skyrocket. And this song, Ringo, by Lauren Green, why the hell would Lauren Green sing a song about Ringo Starr?
Right.
Doesn't have anything to do with Ringo Starr, but because it was named Ringo, shot to the top.
Yeah, I think it was a Western about a
absolutely,
gunfighter and all of this.
Hey, listen, we missed you last week at the fair. We thought, but I'll give you a pass because I know you taking the kids camping and all that. But we had a good time at the fair.
It's in the works for us to try to make an appearance next year, so I'm looking forward to that. How was it? I heard it was very hot.
It was warm. 107 on Thursday, 106 on Friday, and then cooled down to 102 on Saturday and 101 on Sunday. Now, you've lived in California, so you know what the California heat is like.
Yes.
How does it compare to you folks back there?
It is so, and I put that in capital letters, so much more comfortable than the heat that we have here. I'm sure you've heard it in comedy routines and people talk about it. The humidity here, which is the level of water in the air, is so much higher. So, unfortunately, when it gets to those temperatures, as it ever does, even when it gets into the 80s and 90s, it's almost like walking through pea soup. And figuratively speaking, you kind of have this air is heavier when you walk around. You are sweating a lot more. And I remember in California, it was almost, not going to say refreshing, but it was so clean and crisp. Hot was hot. You know,
it's
but
hot.
It wasn't hot and wet and humid and clammy. If that makes any sense.
Oh yeah. We have heat. I mean, we have a dry heat here, basically dry heat,
which is terrific. Yeah. If you're going to compare them, let's put it that way. You know, and you get out of the pool where you are, and if it's that temperature, you almost don't need a towel. I'm assuming 2 minutes later you're kind of dry, right?
Right.
Yeah, we got the towels, and they got to dry. It's just weird. The towels are necessary, otherwise you're not going to dry. It's just humid and stuff, and so you're just having, I think, a lot more fun in California with the hot weather. That's for sure.
If you take a trip, please take the kids to Colonial Williamsburg. Go see Williamsburg. Go see Yorktown. Go take them to Washington D.C. Do that someday with them, please.
Absolutely. Again, some of these, I think, you need to lay the groundwork where they've actually, are familiar with where you're taking them and what's going on. We have a Philadelphia trip. I have in the back of my mind, first I want to go to Constitution Hall, but we've got to watch something on TV and get them educated, and in school, a little bit more, let them have some of that education in the school a little bit more to let them know who the characters are and what went on down there so they can appreciate it,
Well, do me a favor and take them in the dead of summer, okay? Take them in July, because they will get a better appreciation for our founding fathers. And I can't think of a more uninhabitable place to live than that area. I mean, they must have really wanted freedom back.
It's absolutely right.
Think about it, locked up in those rooms with, their wigs on and those, I guess they were wool clothes that they coats
long pants, long shirts too, right? Think about it.
Mosquitoes, the humidity. I mean, you have to, if you go to Williamsburg, they have signs all over. I've been to Williamsburg 3 times. That's why I reference Williamsburg, or even Monticello. Go to Washington's house,
right?
And there are big signs: drink water, buy bottled, and they're not trying to sell the bottled water, but it's so humid there that you sweat, and at the end of the day, you're dehydrated from. And these guys didn't know anything about proper dehydration. Think about that, Douglas.
No, all they knew, and I did this in Philly, and I know it's the same in Williamsburg. In Philly, right around the corner from Constitution Hall, they still have it, is the original tavern, and it still serves beer that the fellows went to after their day of deliberation. So that gives us the one respite from the weather. But that wasn't icy cold beer at the time either.
No.
But that's all they had to look forward to at the end of the. Think about it. All they had to look forward to in some ways was going to the tavern and having a lukewarm beer.
Yeah, it's like
And maybe they had lemonade. They had certainly no refrigeration, no ice, so nothing was cold. So yeah, you're right. That was no fun. I'll tell you, fun to live back then.
But thank God they stuck it out.
Well, isn't that what we all celebrated just a month ago? And you're absolutely right. It's so important. I just hope and wish that they teach it a little bit more in school. We used to take I remember this for a while, it was probably every week in 6th grade for maybe 20 weeks, we'd take a different character, maybe it's Washington, John Paul Jones, whoever might have been, Ben Franklin, and we would study that character for the week so you would get to know who they are and what this was all about,
That's cool.
And just, I guess the curriculums are different times. I haven't gone through it with the kids yet, but they haven't really learned a lot yet about American history. Angelica's now going into 4th, so I think we're starting to get into history now a little bit more.
In the 4th grade in California, you focus on California history, and most every I mean, it's been going on since my oldest son, who's 36, was a kid, and before that, you pick a mission, a California mission, and you study about the mission, and then you build a little model of the mission and bring it to school. And you also study, about the gold rush. And then the 5th grade, it's another 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, freshmen, and it's all laid out what you will study here in California. I'm not sure how it is back there in New York.
And hopefully it includes, of course, I'm sure Kit Carson and all that gang is part of it there, which is great. We just wanted to include, some memories, so that when you go to some real memories of the Revolution and so forth, and of course Civil War. So when you go to these places, they have significance.
Hey, I have a guest idea for you.
Yes.
Okay, you ready? Scott Baio.
Oh yes.
Chachi. He's been in the news lately. He's been in a little trouble, or someone's accusing him of a little trouble. And anyway,
although that's gone away, it's now you remind me. I remember seeing it pretty hot and heavy about 6-8 weeks ago, maybe, right?
Yeah, I just heard about it over this past week, like Thursday or Friday. I've heard it because they were talking about Harvey Weinstein and all that, and
because he went on, he took to social media and attacked or defended himself pretty vehemently on the social media, and then the accuser, I forget her name, that was on one of the shows, came back at him on Dr. Phil and what have you, and then now we've heard nothing because he said he's getting his attorneys involved. I wondered, it's a really good question, what's happened with him since then? We've heard nothing. I don't know if he'll be open to it, but maybe he would. I would give that a shot.
Maybe we need the Fonz. We'll bring the Fonz in and straighten things out here.
I keep asking the Fonz. He's the nicest people in show business surrounding him. They are the nicest. They say no the nicest way that I've ever had.
Have you seen that show with William Shatner, the Fonz?
Yes.
Terry Bradshaw. What is it?
The heck is the name of it? Where they travel around.
That show. I hope they do another episode. Another series this year. I don't think they will. I think they kind of did what they wanted to do.
It was great. They went around the country
and next time around,
the world and experienced different things, right?
This time around, next time around, something like that.
Something
hilarious.
Like that.
And all the characters are exactly the way you would think they are, huh? William Shatner's, pompous. Terry Bradshaw, just a nut. George Foreman, kind of a nice, calm, quiet guy.
Right.
And
there's Henry Winkler, who's the nicest guy around. And again, he surrounds himself by the nicest people in show business to represent him, I'm telling you. But they keep on saying no. Sooner or later, they keep on saying, well, try another time. So I'm going to keep on trying for him. We'll see.
Oh, did you hear about your friend Alan Alda?
I did. He just announced that he has, I'm going to get it straight, Parkinson's, correct?
Yeah.
That's so sad.
That might be interesting to bring him back on and talk to him about that, too.
Yeah, I mean, he did release that information. I'm wondering if he's doing it for a purpose, or did it just come out? Is he now going to speak about it and try to be, sometimes people become devoted to the cause and try to raise some awareness. So I definitely will reach out to his people and find out if that's what he's doing. If he is, we'd love to have him back and have him talk about it and educate us what he's going to go through and what people can do to help,
Douglas, you've got about a minute and a half. I'm sorry, we're running out of time here. We had to catch up here with our, we haven't been together for a couple of weeks. What's up? Folks, you don't realize this, but Douglas and I have never met face to face. So we've only talked on the telephone, but I feel like I have a friendship with you, Douglas. Like if you walked in the room, we could sit down and have a beer and just pick up like we were friends.
I agree. Some people you're just able to meet and connect. I'm sure you've done it when people experience it in high school and wherever. You just, all of a sudden, you just click with somebody. You have some commonality, whatever it might be, pop culture or whatever, and it's just, it's just kind of free and easy. I think you're right. I'm looking forward to that maybe next year.
So this week, you have a minute now.
Not less, right?
Yeah, because I got all sentimental. So you have a minute now. What's up this week?
Well, here's the idea. We're kind of getting around in the corner a little bit here to the end of the summer. I'm not going to push for it too quickly, but it is happening. And we've heard a rash of announcements of shows that have been canceled. Gotham is reaching its last season. The Americans were canceled. Scorpions canceled. Exorcist canceled. Game of Thrones last season. New Girls last season. Timeline, they basically canceled it. So with all these shows being canceled, what in September is there going to be for us to watch? And with so many stations, we've talked about this before, and so many different avenues to watch TV, how can we get organized and kind of lay out for you and for me and for everybody what TV Guide, if you will, in the old days would do for us, and let us know what is there new shows to watch, older shows to binge we may have forgotten about. And so we're going to be, Everything Old is New Again, this week is going to be your TV Guide 2018 Fall Preview.
Well, let me pull myself up from the floor here. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get back here. Gotham? This is the last season of Gotham?
Yes.
What will I watch? They've canceled Lucifer on me, but I understand Netflix picked it up. Haven't seen it. But
yep.
And now Gotham?
Yeah, I know. It's a shame. And Scorpion wasn't, the greatest show in the world, but it was a nice little show also. They canceled that as well. Timeline, I know we talked about that one.
Yeah, they're making a movie, like a 3-hour movie or 2-hour movie on NBC.
Yeah, just to finish it up. It's basically been canceled. So it's a shame. So that's it. Yeah. So are there any new ones? I'm not gonna let you know.
Why can't they cancel shows like Dancing with the Stars or something like? Why do they have to touch this stuff?
I know. You know what it is? These scripted shows are very hard to do, expensive, and if they don't get these blockbuster ratings, they just don't keep them because they need to compete with Netflix and some of the others, I think. So, yeah, we're going to look at that and see. I'll give you a little hint. Ralph Macchio and the Karate Kid are producing a show that's the sequel, or we'll just say Karate Kid 20 years later, called Cobra Kai. And it's on YouTube, believe it or not, YouTube Red. Well worth your time. There's one. But there's only 10 episodes per season. It makes you crazy. And what is this? You get into a show, and then you got to wait, it's 6, 8, 10 months in between seasons, and the season's 10 episodes long. But it's worth it. So that's a good one.
There you go. Tonight at 6 o'clock, tomorrow 6 o'clock, Everything Old is New Again. Douglas Viviani and David Cohen. Douglas, have a great weekend. Got to run.
Thank you. You too. Enjoy.